Now to the latest from El Paso, Texas, where there's been a sudden jump in the number of migrants seeking asylum, and it's putting a strain on that city's resources. More than 2,000 people a day are arriving at the border there asking to be processed, and local leaders are saying that that number is just unsustainable. Why are they coming? Well, Lilia Luciano spoke with some of those crossing the border.
After an 18-day trek spanning more than 2,200 miles, you can see the transformation in Ingrid Lopez's expression as she takes account of what her family has survived on the way here.
Por el sacrificio, desde que nosotros salimos de nuestro país, todo lo que nosotros pasamos.
And the sacrifices she and her husband Wilston have made without work and fleeing political persecution to offer their 13-year-old Emily a safe life. After crossing several borders, they boarded a bus in Mexico with about 40 others. But instead of the freedom to the north, they say the drivers delivered them and hundreds of others into the hands of armed kidnappers.
Nos pedían $280 por cada uno de nosotros.
The fear piled on, locked in a warehouse for days with more threats than food, praying to survive.
Logramos escapar, todas las personas.
Starving, they say the group managed to escape by breaking down the doors and running to a neighboring town for help. Then her smile fades, remembering a reality as cold as the crowded floors they slept on at the Immigration Processing Center.
You felt that the experience, having been kidnapped by these criminal organizations in Mexico, felt the same as when you finally crossed and were detained.
They were finally released and came to this shelter as they make their way to Baltimore to await their asylum hearing. But with local shelters at capacity, others wait for those next steps in the freezing cold. City manager Tommy Gonzalez says the city has already spent $9.5 million and needs millions more from the federal government to shelter, direct, and where needed, transport migrants arriving here.
All hands need to be on deck. Let's keep the migrants' needs in mind. They're not a project, they're people.
The city of El Paso just learned that they will receive $6 million from FEMA for costs related to manage the crisis. And local officials tell me they also hope that the federal government will open Fort Bliss, something that's done before, as a shelter. As you can see, that is already needed and will be desperately so in a week if Title 42 expires. Nate, the cold is bone-chilling right now.
Wow. Yeah, the shelter is much needed, that's for sure. Lilia, thank you.